What would you like to take place today in this
Um,
coaching session?
Honestly, just clarity and peace, of just wherever God wants me to be. I think that for me, I'm always trying to figure out what God's plan is for me, and I've learned that sometimes I don't need to understand. But just kind of some sort of guidance of the right path of where He wants me to be. Um, yeah.
Okay, so clarity and peace. When you say
Mhm.
clarity, explain that to me.
Kind of uh where if certain things, like for an example with my business that I'm wanting to start, um just like where the name is one, like where I want, or what I want the name to be, and what exactly the business should entail, uh just kind of it to be clear if that's the right choice, or if it's not the right choice. So some sort of just, I don't really like saying sign, but like sign that I'm doing at least God's work, like where He's wanting me to be. Um, I just and if in anything that I'm doing, I want it to be God centered. So um, just having it to be a little bit more of a open window of, okay, that's the direction that I need to be,
Okay.
um, versus blurred a little bit. But
So do you feel like it's blurred right now?
yeah, um, in some sense, there's a little bit of like blurriness, but then there's also just kind of, maybe I'm just not confident in like the decision, and that I just need to go through with it. And like God's pushing me towards that direction, but I'm just not, I guess, obeying in that sense. So, yeah, just a little bit of more confidence, clarity. But I think just a lot of guidance in, what the steps to take, um, from a business partner to
Yeah.
another.
Yeah. Totally.
More intel than some knowledge than me.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, let's break down what you're saying about clarity and peace when it comes to you wanting the Lord to be a part of this.
Mhm.
Um, so so tell me about your relationship with the Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know, 10 to 15 years in the process. It's been a whole journey. So I've always, I mean, I grew up a Catholic. I ended up going to church with my mom. Just wasn't, there was no connect. I kind of knew who this Jesus was, didn't really pay attention. And then my sister had a really deep relationship with Jesus, and I was like, what is this? Who is this? What's going on? Like, I just saw a different side of her, and so I could clearly see that there's Holy Spirit inside of her. So I invested, ended up, like my high school year, ended up getting involved with a church, Second Baptist, and went to Fall Riot, and you were speaking, and God spoke through you. And
Praise the Lord.
it's, yeah, it was an amazing time. And from there of high school year, I've just, it's been a whole, like, there's the justification and the sanctification, and let me tell you, it's been a journey. And so yeah, I mean, I've had a relationship with Jesus with for 10 plus
10 plus
years.
years.
So it
So it
was
was
really
really
fun
fun
and
and
exciting, the
exciting, the
whole
whole
journey.
journey,
But
but
there's been
there's
the
been
ups
the
and
ups
the
and the
ups.
ups.
I'm a
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
The
The
ups and
ups and
downs.
downs.
Um,
Um,
and
and
obviously it's
obviously
not
it's not
fun,
fun,
but
but
you
you
have to
have
kind
to
of
kind
like
of like
ride
ride
through
through
it.
it.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah,
so I
so I
mean,
mean,
right
right
now,
now,
being
being
plugged into
plugged
the
into the
church
church
with
with
young
young
single
single
adults,
adults
and kind
and
of
kind of
growing
growing
with each
with each
other, and
other
like
and like
learning
learning
what
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 like the
like the
Bible's
Bible's
really
really
saying
saying
about
about
not just
not
how
just
to
how to
kind
kind
of
of
how it applies to your life, but what the meaning is behind of every little scripture and every word.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Is my mic better? Somebody was telling me, Bennett Holloway right here, saying my mic is low. How does that sound now, Bennett? Talk to me, my man. Tony, you remember Bennett?
I do.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's louder for me, and I was glitching earlier because I can hear myself.
Oh,
Like
you can hear yourself right now?
like mimicking.
Yeah, it's echoing.
Yes. That's what it is.
Is it still doing it?
Yes.
Let me try something here.
It did
Hey,
go
hey.
louder.
How's that?
I can still hear it.
Test
Yeah,
one. You
yeah.
still hear the echo?
Yeah.
Oh,
If I have
man.
one ear headphone in.
Oh, now it's saying yours echoes. All right, we're gonna keep. Let's just keep
Let's
trying
roll
this
it
for a second.
out.
No. We're good. I want to make the. Yeah, we're gonna. Let's see.
We'll figure it out.
Reduce mic background noise. See what that does right here. See, that's why we live. That's why we're live, and it's just real. How does that sound to my people out there? Test 1, 2. Are you echoing, Tanya?
I think so. Yeah.
You're still echoing.
At least from my ear, I can hear it.
All right, let me.
But you're not echoing. I mean, you're louder.
I'm louder.
Yeah. Whatever you changed it earlier.
Okay. Test 1. Hey. Test 1, 2. Are you echoing? Go ahead and talk.
I'm not echoing, but I did press an echo cancellation, so I wonder if that helped.
Work? Does that help you?
Yeah, it helps me, but I don't know. Can you hear me? I'm assuming.
I hear good now.
Oh, perfect.
I hear everything fine.
I guess
Bennett, how we doing? It's okay. Bennett is my Bennett's my sound from overseas. He lives in India and is seriously
awesome.
No, he doesn't live in India. I'm just kidding.
Oh. I'm so gullible. I will literally believe anything you say.
Oh, I love it. Well, let's keep rolling with that, because the question that I asked in the very beginning of this was, what would you like to see happen at the end of this coaching session? And you said clarity and peace. And then you went into the conversation talking about, man, I really want to make sure that God is in this. So let's just hang there for a second, Tanya, and give you and tell me what this does for you when I say this. When you are walking with the Lord, so every step that you're taking and in your relationship, first of all, it's never going to be perfect. Okay, that's why Jesus came. So there's going to be ups and downs, and you know that. Mm-hmm. And now you're wanting to start a business. Now you're wanting to jump out there, and you're wanting to do something that takes a lot of bravery, that is scary. And sometimes when we're wanting to do that, what can happen is we can start to overthink it. And for Christians, sometimes the thought that we overthink is like, is this God's plan? Mm-hmm. Do I need to do this? Is he in this? How do I make sure he's in this? And here's I'm not Jesus, obviously. Yeah. But what I want you to take a little clarity and peace in is that any step that you take is the right step with him. Mm-hmm. So when you launch out there in this business, when you go, that is the right step, and he is with you. I think sometimes we can overthink it, and we start thinking like, man, is this the right move for me? Am I making the right choice? And what we do is we just start to like stay in our place and like overthink it and over spiritualize it and just not move at all, which the enemy would love, because the enemy hates that you're wanting to start a business and that you're wanting to start a business that is going to represent Christ, no matter what you do. It doesn't have to say like Tanya's Christian, blah, blah. But who you are, the foundation of who you are is Christ. Mm-hmm. And so how does that land on you when I say that?
It gives me more, I don't have to stress as much. It gives me more kind of just, it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that, I think that it's okay to have some thoughts of uncertainty, but like to know that it's also okay to keep going and going through the things that you want to go through. because I think also it just makes me think that if like when you go through those situations or goals that you have in mind, yet you go through them, and if something happens in that path, then God's kind of just redirecting you towards his plan. So I think like, yeah, like if that's like right now he's telling me to do this business and or wants this specific name, and if it doesn't go that way, then like that's kind of just God tugged me in a different direction of where his plan is. Like he's wanting me, like, he wants you to go this way, but there's a little piece different that he wants to add in. So, and I think also the enemy plays a lot. I now you say it, and honestly, we think these things, and I think these things a lot, where it's like, okay, maybe it is the enemy, but then, or maybe it's like, maybe that's not it. And I really honestly don't think a lot that sometimes it is the enemy. Sometimes I do think that it's God telling me no. And so I think that for me, it's hard to kind of decipher whenever it's God telling me no, or not now, or that it's the enemy. So now that you say that, I don't really think about enemy playing in parts in my life. I always just think about God. So it's a really good point. I didn't really think of it that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Here's what else I want you to think about. God is about movement, not about sitting stagnant. I think that if we sit stagnant, the enemy loves that because we're not moving forward. Anywhere you see Jesus in the Bible, yes, he told his disciples to stay here while I go.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, multiple times we see that in the Bible. And the enemy is very real, especially with business leaders who are wanting to go and start something new, because a business leader can impact the community in such a great, massive way.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you think about the Lord, you know, he is always going to want movement and progression. And when you're walking with him, you know, for me, for example, Tanya, when I started this business, I started out as a business coach. I'm like, I'm going to be a business coach. And then I started talking about like profit and margin and like stuff. I'm like, what the crap am I talking about? Like I made a video about profit margin, and it was so hard for me. I'm like, and the profit margin of like, what the crap? I still have the video. It is still up on my YouTube channel, and it's gross. But in that, I'm like, this isn't it. That's not who I am. When it comes to business coaching, I can coach you on how to start a business and run your business. But there's things within your business that I'm like, you're going to want to get somebody else to help with this.
Yeah.
And so I started business coach. I'm like, that's not it. And then I started doing fitness coaching. And I'm like, I had a lot of clients that came to me for that. A lot. I made a lot of money doing that for a month. And I realized it's not it either. Was the Lord in it? Yes. Was the Lord in it? For sure. Because now what I'm doing as far as coaching, it's kind of a broad, it's more broad. Yes, I am majorly focused on helping people break through from the trauma that is holding them down. And like you, for example, I have other people that I'm helping them, and they want to do ministry. They want to do it in the marketplace, but they're not sure the steps to take to do it. And that's where you fall in today. So, Tanya, your business, tell me big picture, what does that look like?
A huge picture, because it branches out.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, essentially I would like to open up a location where I teach kids how to cook. And that's the kind of big picture. And then but kind of to start off, because I feel like maybe I haven't really looked into it, but just financially being able to afford a location to own or lease one. Essentially I would just go at the beginning, would do like birthday parties and go to people's homes and teach maybe a group of 5 or 6, no more than 10, and teach these kids just the fundamentals of cooking and just the basic independency of being able to be safe with the knife. I think there's a saying where it's like kids do dangerous things safely. And so I think that like kids, and I think a lot of parents too, also don't know how to cook and don't know how to use a knife and don't know how to, A lot of parents and a lot of people don't know how to. And so I think that when you start off at a young age, um, kids will develop that. And I think also having the opportunity for parents to also sit in that and to do a bonding experience with their child so that they could both learn and grow.
Yeah.
I think that that's super important. So being able to do that at someone's home, and then once I get revenue and be able to open up my own place, then I can do both and have double revenue, and have where I do. I also thought a friend of mine pitched an idea of like buying a bus and stripping everything inside and do like culinary on wheels. So I use that for the birthday party ideas, and I go like I buy like sous chefs, and they not buy, I'm sorry, hire sous chefs, and they go out and on the buses, and they teach the kids how to cook at, inside the buses instead of the homes. And then from there, I would be at my home location doing those workshops essentially. And then, but then I also thought about, well, I wouldn't be getting that much business during the school year, during the day, because all the kids, my main target would be children. So all the kids would be at school. So then I kind of would be at a alone shop. So then at that point, I would like to use my space and do another like side business and create meal prep, meal
Mm.
prep for families with kids who have dietary needs.
Woo!
So that's a lot of branches, kind of trying to hoe down and gather it all together and how to make it one. Um, and so I've gotten a lot of feedback with parents who I've told about my business and meal prepping and stuff like that. And so a lot of my feedback from moms is that it's really hard for them to be a mom, a wife, a mother, who works a full-time job, and to be able to also like have to figure out how to feed their child with their dietary restrictions and meal prep for them and cook for them, and having to do all of that is very difficult, and having time for themselves as well. So the thought of me jumping into that position to help and relieve a little bit of that stress, to either a mom or a dad, or both parents, I think that that's something that, I mean, obviously I'm someone who loves to help people, whether it is um, whether it's a child, whether it's a mom, a dad, anytime I'm like, I will help. So yeah, trying to tie all those branches together is something that I'm trying to gather. So my head is scattered, if you could tell. So that's why I
Yeah.
think for me it's very hard to kind of how do I go by step and step and to figure out this business and put it all together.
So let's work on something right now. What like right now? So that was a lot of great things. I think that is
Yeah.
amazing. How much of that stuff do you have written down?
I have it voice memoed because it's a lot. I
Okay.
speak a lot.
Yeah, that's really good. So
Yeah.
what I would encourage you to do, number one, and I would write this down if you have anything to take notes on. I
Hmm.
would encourage you to write, like physically write all those ideas down,
Yeah.
and not even on a computer, like on like a
Piece of
piece of
paper.
paper. And I know that sounds weird, but it just helps to get a lot of that stuff out of our brain. And I know the
Mhm.
voice memo is good, but when you do that, you're gonna be able to ease up some space in there, like you're clearing your
Yeah.
memory so that you can focus on some other things. Of all the stuff that you just mentioned, all those awesome ideas, which three are you most excited about?
Um, the locations part.
Okay.
Where I own a location and I'm doing
Okay,
like
hold on,
workshops.
hold on. Okay, hold on. So number one, location. So
Mhm.
location part. What else fires you up?
The meal prepping.
Okay, meal prepping. And what else?
I'm the culinary on wheels would be kind of nice. It's not super important, but I guess that for me it would. Um, I mean, I think having double revenue would be nice. I think it also would help people who aren't able to travel. But yeah, but it's not something for me. It was a stepping stone so that I'm able to afford a place to own or lease so that I can have that location.
Yeah. Okay, so let's break those down. So those are your top 3 of all those great ideas. So location. When you say location, what does that mean to you? Help me understand when you say location what that means.
Think of like a strip mall and having a building that has my name on it. Well, not my name, but like the company's name. And inside is basically a kitchen with like big, think of like, I mean, I don't know about how your science class looked like to you, but my science class, there's big long tables
Yeah.
and had a sink in the middle and a bunch of just like all the culinary bags and aprons on the side. And yeah, windows in the front.
I love it. And who comes to that?
Children, family, parents, adults, single adults, honestly anyone in the
Okay.
spectrum, all over,
Okay.
from the ages 2 to adult.
2 to 92.
Dude.
Anybody over 92 not allowed.
93, sorry, you made it make
Okay.
it up.
Okay. Great. Meal prepping. Tell me about that. I know you mentioned a little bit about it. You want to do it with people with dietary needs and stuff like that. Would ideally the meal prepping happen at the location, or would it happen area on wheels? Are you delivering the meals?
So it would be both. So I would use my location to cook all the meals. And then from there, I could deliver it through the like the bus, but if not, I could just deliver it through my own vehicle. But all the cooking would be done at the location. I would use that location in the kitchen space for myself, because my business would be pretty empty because all the kids are at school, except maybe, I mean, I think the time slots would be
You
kind
have
of like,
homeschool as well.
yeah,
You could have,
so it
you
would
have,
be kind of scheduled and appointment wise depending on like how many customers I have for the day, because there'd be blocks kind of, so they wouldn't be filled out compared to like the summertime. So the times that I don't have anyone, then I would use that time slot to use the kitchen to cook all those meals.
Okay. And then culinary on wheels is you stripping out a bus, whatever. You're taking that to somebody's house and they're having like a party, and you have like, is that kind of the picture there?
Yes. So the kids would come onto the bus, and then it would be the same kind of small layout of the location site. And so it would be all the kitchen area utensils to be used, all the aprons and all the like the kits and stuff like that, and little placement areas where they're able to stand and able to cut, wash, place things, cook. So they would go in there. The bus would be stationed in front of the house, and then they'll use that for that time block, and then they would be all done, and then they would leave the bus, and then the bus would go back to the location or go to another birthday party.
Okay. Why is this so important for you to do this?
I really love cooking. So originally I was not going to do cooking at all. I was going to do physical therapy, but I kind of was figuring out what to do with my life, and then figuring out like what are some hobbies I really like. So cooking was one of them. And so I just have always taught kids how to swim, and I always just keep going back to that job of just teaching. And so I've realized that I really love kids. Like, kids are just the biggest part of my day. Like, I cry anytime I see them because they're just they're the sweetest innocent kids that just like have so much pure in their life that they just have just joy. And then just teaching them and being able to see them, their progress from not being able to do something to accomplishing something, and seeing how proud they are. Honestly, like, it just makes me feel super happy that I was being able to be a part of that. And so bringing that into culinary, I think that there's a lot of need for it. There's a lot of adults that don't know how to cook, that don't know how to use a knife. And so are you, it's okay. Speak up to it. Own up
Yeah,
to it.
hey,
Hey, when my business opens, you can come join. I'll teach you.
I'm coming.
And so there's a lot of need for it. And so I think, like, starting out for a little kid, I think that it's very, very important for a kid to start growing independency skills of how to cook. And it's not just so that mom and dad doesn't have to cook, like, oh, you can cook on your own, like, in the kitchen. It's just to teach them those fundamental skills. I think that's just with, like, the gross motor skills and all the other skills that kids start to learn at a young age. I think kitchen cooking is part of that. I think, I mean, if you don't cook, then what are you going to do? Go out and eat fast food all day and every day? Like, it's not healthy. And then also just teaching the healthy things and that you can eat and alternatives as well. So it's not just cooking, but giving them the fundamentals of health.
Okay. What happens? No, let me ask this question. Why haven't you started yet?
I have, like I said earlier, I had a bunch of branches. And so I was so getting myself so overwhelmed that there wasn't really a place for me to start. And so recently I've just jotted down 3 things that I wanted to work on for this year. And which was to get an LLC, a name for the business, create a website, and a business card. And I feel like those are 4. Sorry. So 4 things that will get me started. Because then at that point, I can start marketing myself and start, people can start looking me up and, doing all these things. The what to make and pricing can come a little bit later. But having those things as an important thing to figure out within the year is what I'm working on. So I do have a name. I've been praying on it and I've been kind of sitting on it and speaking and seeing how I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have a name. I am
What
trying
is it?
to, it is Sprouts Savvy Kitchen.
Okay.
And so I'm still working on maybe another name for the meal prepping. But yes, Sprouts Savvy Kitchen Co. would be the name. I had put it on a little, like, vintage bus, which was kind of cool. I was doing a presentation that my sister was wanting me to. We're doing a trial summer party.
Nice.
So hopefully I'm trying to do the whole ins and outs of pricing and what to make. And I had put it on the vintage bus and it looked really nice. So, so I think that's the name that I'm sticking with. Yeah, it's been in my mind for quite a while.
So tell me what's behind the Sprouts Savvy Kitchen. Like, why that name?
Yeah. So, obviously kitchen, it's going to be a kitchen. It kind of emphasizes just the whole cooking and culinary, idea. And sprouts, when you think of a sprout, you think of like a plant, right? You think of something that's super small that grows into something super big. So sprouts doesn't really necessarily have to be for children. Again, sprouts can also come from an adult who is also starting from nothing with acknowledgement and of cooking and stuff like that. So they can also be a sprout as well. And so savvy, I mean, you can be as savvy as you want to be in the kitchen, as long as you're safe. And so, yeah, sprouts is just the initial of kind of like what I wanted to have I wanted to have kind of somewhat of a neutral name where it's for kids and adults, but mostly kids.
Yeah.
And so I think Sprouts can also be defined for adults as well, because again, for adults who don't know how to cook or use knives or anything of kitchen knowledge, then they're also a Sprout.
That's good. So what scares you about it?
Honestly, that I'm not gonna know what to do, like financially, like how to manage that. And I think because I've said all the branches ideas that I have, I think that um, I may get all these things done, and then I think that it's gonna just die at some point.
Mm.
And so I feel like it's just gonna come apart. Like I'm doing way too much. And so I think that it's gonna be hard for me to handle and manage. Or maybe I just don't know how it all runs just business wise. And so I think that for me it's scary. And I think that's another reason why I haven't really like pushed as hard to get things done quicker. Because it's just I've never started a business. Obviously, I've never like talked to anyone who started a business. It kind of like except you. So
Yeah.
so but like I've kind of just had to figure out and do a lot of research on my own. And so I think that and like with time I've come to my senses and like realize this is something I really want to do. And so if I want to do it, I have to put in the effort and the time to figure out how to do it, and just make those big steps. It's kind of just been it's a mental battle. So just being able to like push through it and just being able to do it just makes me go. So it's scary because I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And so like I also don't want to like mess up. And I feel like with a business, you have to kind of be on your toes and like make sure you're doing the right things and make sure that like the legal stuff, like
Right.
I don't know, like an LLC. I didn't know what an LLC was. Yeah. So
well,
like
let's stop there for a second, Tanya. I think that an encouragement to you is I think it's great you already have a name, but sometimes people don't launch because of the name.
Yeah.
And they don't launch because they don't have the website, and they don't launch because they don't have the colors. They don't have all the things. They don't have the business cards like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And my encouragement to you would put all that stuff way down on the list.
Okay.
Because those things, what I've seen happen is you can get really stuck in the all that work and expense and all the things. And then when you get your LLC, you do all the stuff, and then you launch out there and it doesn't work. And you have just spent hundreds of dollars, hundreds of hours making a website, making all the things, and then you're all of a sudden like, man, I actually wanted to do a swimming pool on wheels. And so you've completely changed even as you're getting all the LLC and you're getting your website. And that's something for me. I wish that I could go back and not have launched my website so early. I felt like that was something I needed to do, which it wasn't. My Instagram and Facebook and YouTube was fine. It was great. But now my website's good. So my encouragement to you right now is to all of those things, because what it's going to do is it's going to get you stuck in the weeds. It's going to get you really stuck. I understand having an LLC is important.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's not that important. You can still have a bus and do all the things currently without an LLC.
Yeah.
You can do these things. So I think something for you to think about is a mission statement as to why do you do what you do? Have you ever thought about this?
No.
Okay. So here's what I want you to answer this question. What significant problem does your business solve?
Ooh.
Take your time.
I haven't really thought of that. I think what I would say would be like just skill, like what is it, like necessary skill, like a life skill.
So here's what I want you to do. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
To feed yourself and to kind of sustain yourself so that you can eat.
So here's an example of how to do that in your mind, and I want you to play this out. And again, this can change. This isn't in gold. This can change. But example is we'll say we solve the problem of blank. So say it in one sentence. You solve the problem. Your business solves the problem of blank, blank, blank. What would that be?
I don't know.
Okay, and that's okay.
And maybe that's just because I'm the lack of words I have.
That's okay. So let me just see if I can help with that. So Sprout Savvy Kitchen, right? Is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm hearing what I'm hearing is Sprout Savvy Kitchen helps families learn to cook. Okay. Now that's just basic, easy, whatever. How does that sound to you? Again, this isn't goal.
No. And I was thinking, whenever you're asking me that question, I was thinking like, oh, my business, for an example, like I'm thinking of another business, like, I don't know, recycling saves population. Like,
okay. No, it's like this. If somebody comes, you say, man, tell me about Sprout Savvy Kitchen. You're going to say, oh, well, there's a lot of families, they don't really know how to cook and their kids are clueless on how to do it. What we do is we solve the problem, is we help families learn to cook together.
Yeah.
Again, I don't, but it's called a one-liner. You're actually coming up with the problem that you solve so you're able to really help people when they say, what is this place? Bam, this is what we do.
Yeah.
So you don't have to come up with that right now, but I would write that down as some homework. Okay. So some homework for you is to come up with a one sentence of what is the problem that you solve. And the next thing I want you to think about, as we're kind of, and this is going to be drafting out your mission statement. Okay. So the next thing that I want you to think about is, who is your target audience? Who is your target audience?
Children.
Okay. So when you're crafting out this mission statement, you're literally going to say, we blah, 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 and we serve blank. So we serve children. So here's what I want you to think about with that is, it's good. I totally hear you. But who's paying the bills?
The moms and the dads.
That's right. The parents are and so I want you to think about children versus families. Because where you live right now is like family world. Like everything there is about families. And I think something to think about is, you're saying, who is my ideal customer? My ideal customer is really families, because multiple times you were saying how you really wanted families to learn together. So you're going to do birthday parties, man. That's families. You're going to do meal prepping for families. You're going to, the three things that you said. So that's just an idea. Yeah. So as you're crafting a mission statement, the first thing is, what is the core problem that you solve, which you're going to work on. The second thing is your target audience. Who is your target? Again, this may change over time. Okay, it may go from families, no, children, no, we're just serving, the elderly. It really could change quite a bit. Now, the next thing that I want you to think about is, what is your business provide to people? So you're saying what you do, you're saying who it's for. What does it provide?
Skill and knowledgement.
of
fundamental skill of cooking, and then acknowledgement of health in
I
food.
love that. That is so good. I hope you wrote that down. That is
No, but it's
great.
recorded, so I
That's
can
right. It
look
is.
back.
It
So if
is.
you're wanting to look back at this video,
Yeah,
this is
that's right. That's right. So that's really good. That's really good. Um, so that's huge. And then what I want you to do is the way that you actually do these things. So what's the strategy that you're going to use? And I know this is where you've been kind of like, I want to do a bus and I want to do this, I want to do this. I want you to work on summing all of those ideas up into like one sentence, because that's going to help you to really explain to others and to show yourself, this is what I'm doing and this is how I'm going to do it. So, you know, we utilize kitchen and the skill. I don't even know. Like cooking is so outside of my zone. But how are you going to do it? So, example for me, the way that I say that I help, what I do is I utilize one-on-one coaching through Zoom or in person, and I also have online courses and a community, a private community. That's my strategy to helping my people. And that's 3 different things. And so for you, the same deal.
Yeah.
And then what I want to do is, I want you to look back on this, and then you and I are going to connect again after this call, and in a week or so, and we're going to craft that mission statement, because here's what happens with that mission statement. That is going to help keep you focused. That is going to keep you on track. And then whenever you do present to a bank, or you're like, man, I need money for this, I need to get this going, you're able to say, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is who we serve, and this is our strategy to make it happen. And they're like, that's legit.
Yeah.
And then they give you $50,000. Versus like, and we're gonna have a bus and give away knives at parties. You know, it's just kind of gets crazy. So, does that help you at all?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
I mean, I think I've had like people ask me like why this, and I think, I mean, sometimes they don't ask me, sometimes I just like say it, but my goal is I'm wanting to help kids, and I guess I should change it. Like, I want to help families learn how to cook and gain a life skill that is very important for them.
I think it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now earlier you were mentioning about something that's really holding you back and slowing you down. I don't know if you want to talk much about that, because we are live. This is a live coaching session. It's totally up to you. You can say yes or no.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was in a car accident in the end of April. And so I've just been in a lot of back pain, neck pain, a lot of, I ended up getting an x-ray, and the x-ray, your spine has like 3 different curves. And so your neck's part is supposed to be at like a 30 or a 45. And so my neck is at a currently -10. And so I got really bad whiplash in the car accident. And so we were rear-ended. I was in the back seat. I was the only one in the back seat. So I got it. I felt it pretty bad. And so I have been going to physical therapy. I've been seeing a chiropractor. I scheduled a MRI. I'm waiting to reschedule an MRI. And so I'm just kind of mentally have drained myself, because I no longer can work out. I put a 2-month suspension on my gym membership. I go 6 times a week. That was kind of like my mental getaway. And all my gym friends they're all moms. They're all families. I'm the only like single person there. But I love them, and they're super supportive and super helpful, and just like guiding me to the right person, right doctor, right advice and stuff like that. And, you know, the amount of love I've gotten from them has been tremendous. So,
Okay. So sum that down into one sentence about the wreck. What's the problem?
Mental stress of that. My mental health is kind of dragging me down and not letting me do the things that I'm wanting to do in life.
Okay. Not in life. I would say right now.
Yes, yes. And in life right now.
Yeah, definitely. And it does it seem really big to you?
Yes. Yes. Feels really big to me, but small to others, which hurts. Tremendous.
Okay. Big to you, small to others. Tell me more about that.
Just like with my friends, sorry, I don't want to get emotional. My friends have been super supportive, but I just feel like my family hasn't been supportive in the sense of just like, oh, you're not really hurt, or it's because you work out way too much and your body's super sore, and that's what's caused you to have so much pain because of the accident. But it's crazy to like have those thoughts, or how they could have these thoughts, because you know it was days before I had went to the gym to because again it happened during the weekend, and so days before I went to the gym I had this accident. So my neck and back were never hurting. I had been to the gym consistent for 6 times a week for a year. So like my body shouldn't have been, I mean, could be a little sore, but not to the point where like,
okay, hold on,
my nerves are being shot.
Okay. So big to you, small to others, affects you big time is what you said. Okay. So what's the truth in it all?
That I'm alive. Honestly, I just go back to it and I just think about like
Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me reframe the question.
Okay.
of the people that are making it small, what's the truth in what they're saying?
None of it is true.
Okay. So let's hang out there for a second. None of it is true. How do you know that?
Because I know what I feel and what I know. And it's not small. Because it's about what I know and what I feel, and not about what they know or what they think.
And I want you to remember that. Even though it's really hard when you're looking for support, and it sounds like the support that you had at the gym is gone right now. Is that true?
Yes, yeah. It's just all virtual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as like in person people that you're looking for some support in this season, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you saying that. I know that is like really hard to say and really hard to deal with. But one thing I want you to remember is that truth of it's not true. And again, we're gonna bash the enemy. When I say the enemy, for those watching, I'm talking about the enemy as in Satan, as in the deceiver, a liar who wants to kill, steal, and destroy. And I believe with this accident that happened in April, it's an opportunity for him to really get you off of the direction that God has for you.
Yeah.
April. So, and then you've got family that are saying, "Oh, you're just sore from working out. You're just, all these things that you're like, no, I'm really hurt. I'm really hurt." So, I want you to remember the truth in that is that you are hurt, and the truth is that it's not forever, and that you are going to get back on your feet and get back in the gym and get after it. And I also want you to think about this. something that kind of motivates me. A year ago, I was really sick with COVID. Couldn't even take a step. My doctor told me I'll never be able to run again. And all that did was really piss me off.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I'm never going to run again. Well, I'm running again. And I'm not on the medication that they were telling me to take. And I'm a lot healthier than I ever have been. And so I want you to know that sometimes other people's opinions, they're just it. I want you to use that as a driving force for you to be the best that you can be. And I want you to think about this. This is hard. Other people's opinion is none of our business. So as sometimes, and it's hard when it comes to family. It's very difficult. And it's difficult when it comes from friends. But also you're going to know who your friends are. They're the ones that are standing with you no matter what.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you can do right now as far as like physical, like what are some things that you can do?
I mean, I can walk. I can still teach. I can still work.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can still teach kids how to swim. I towards like the beginning of the accident, I wasn't able to like lift the kids up. And so now I'm able to a little bit, my lighter ones, not my heavier ones. But yeah, I'm able to just move around a little bit more, but not too much because then I get exhausted.
Yeah. So here's some other homework. So I've given you some homework today.
Yeah.
One of the things was your mission statement.
Mhm.
And I'll email you after this and send you an outline to help make that even easier for you. But I think something else that I would really encourage you to do is I want you to try to go outside and I want you to try to walk at least 10 minutes a day. And if you could do that, I say 10 minutes a day. I'm so sorry for that. I would say 10 minutes 3 times a week. When I say that, what does that sound like to you? Does that sound like, oh, that's a lot?
No, it sounds like I'm going to be in my feelings. I feel like it's going to like kind of separate me because, sorry,
It's okay.
I think it's going to just bring me a little bit back to just like being back in the gym and being able to like mentally get away. So I think that like walking will get me that, like give me that headspace that I feel like my body's been needing and like I've been wanting. I've been thinking about it, like that I should go on walks to kind of help my body, but then I just get lazy and then I just don't, or I start working on my business and I just don't go.
Yeah, and that's okay. And that's normal. That's a lot of people. So your business is going to happen, but your business is not going to be the best it can be without Tanya being the best that she can be.
Yeah.
And I know you know these things. And so my encouragement to you, and this is what a coach does. A coach says, hey, here's some homework. Here's some things I want you to work on. And then what really sucks about me is I follow up a lot. Like my clients, like they get so annoyed with me because I'm like, hey, Tanya, how's the walking go? And you're like, shut up. I'm still in bed, you psycho. But what it does is it helps you because it helps you to continue to grow and continue to be what, and for you to hit the goals and the things that you want to hit. Because right now, what I'm hearing, and if I'm wrong, please tell me. But what I'm hearing is you have a lot of emotion, like you have a lot of stuff going on in your head since the accident, and maybe even before that. I'm sure there is some other things happening.
Yeah. And
then it all just kind of came to a head during the accident. And now you can't do what you love, which is going to the gym and doing all the stuff. You're probably not proud of yourself. You probably all this negative, these intrusive thoughts that come in. Is any of this true?
Yep.
Yeah. And so now what you can do is you're gonna start defeating those thoughts, and you're gonna start defeating those things, and it's gonna take you going on a walk. And I know for some people that sounds really, really easy. Like that's like, okay, I'll go on a walk for 10 minutes. Or I'll park far away from the entrance to the grocery store or whatever it is. That's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about you, and I want you to hear what I'm saying here. I want you to take your phone, okay? But I don't want you to listen to anything, and I don't want you to look at your phone. And I want you to walk for 10 minutes is my prescription today. And when you walk, I just want you to just allow it to happen. Listen to whatever, the birds, the wind, the storm, whatever's happening around you. And I just want you to walk out, and I want you to walk back, not listening or looking at anything. And I want you to do that at least 3 to 4 times this week. So from this Tuesday to next Tuesday. And then I want you to just kind of think about what that felt like. Does that sound like too much? Again, I already asked this, but I just want to make sure.
No, not at all.
Okay. Do you have time today to do that?
Yes.
Okay. When do you think you'll do that today?
Right after this.
I love it. I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. So as far as your homework, Tanya, is concerned, I want to move that up to the top. Okay. The business stuff is going to come, but here's what's probably going to happen is when you're on your walk, you're going to have some thoughts and emotion probably going to come up. And then the business stuff is going to become a little bit more clear probably.
Yeah.
And I love that. And here's what I want you to know. We're on this live feed right now. Everybody's, watching this and they're commenting, and I'm not sharing a lot of comments because this is a live coaching session. But I want you to know this is that you've got some fans in your corner. I'm one of them. I'm for you. And this is a beautiful idea that you have. But I am more for you than I am the business. The business is going to happen. But I am more for you being healthy and being the best you can be. So, what else? Tell me what your morning usually looks like. Like, what does a morning look like for Tanya?
I wake up. I kind of get my life situated by I have to at least make my bed.
Nice.
So that I feel at least somewhat ready for the day. Kind of makes me feel like it's been a thing where I heard that if you make your bed, at least you kind of start your day off with like goals. So it's been a routine, and I've been doing it, and it's now a habit. I just make my bed, whether it's like nice and needed or anything, but I just make it. And then I'm very lazy. So it depends. Like before the accident, I would go work out, come home, cook, and then get ready for work. But now that I'm not working out, I just sit and watch TV.
Okay.
And kind of just do nothing or work on my business.
Okay. I want you to go back to something you said that is a lie. You said
I'm lazy. I feel like now I am. I'm not very active. Like I'm not moving around a lot. I don't think I feel like there's time. I'm not a lazy person, but I can be at times that I want to be. That I'm not lazy, as in I just don't do anything with my time. I do absolutely nothing. Like I usually do that time as in kind of like a me time where I'm not someone who's constantly on my phone or watching things or videos or on social media. I'm usually like up and going. I'm doing errands. I'm working out. I'm going to work, going to PT. And so I'm usually up and moving. And so whenever I'm sitting and doing nothing for like 2 hours, that's kind of like my detox. Like,
but right now you feel like you aren't doing those, moving around, doing all the stuff, correct?
Yeah, I feel like I'm like, will do nothing until the afternoon until I go to work.
All right. and you enjoy that or you hate that?
Like maybe an hour or two I like.
Yeah.
But then after being sitting on the couch for like 4 or 5 hours, I'm kind of over it. Like I feel like I want to do stuff
Yep.
like for the day. And like we used to wake up at like 4 in the morning, before the sun would come up, but go to the gym, and I was constantly doing something from 4 until I went to bed at 8 p.m. So like
Yeah.
now
Awesome.
it just feels empty. I feel like I'm not really doing much. And but then I think about like what could I do, and I mean I could go on a walk, but like that's about it. I'm not going to go on the walk for like 8 hours.
Yeah.
I'm not like you who runs marathons.
Yet.
Not my thing.
No, and that's okay. We don't need any more knuckleheads. The world's
Nope. It's too
where
many.
we are. Yeah, we good. There's too many.
One too many.
Well, I think this. I think, and I'm so thankful for your vulnerability. That is huge, and that says a lot. Especially right now, we don't know who's watching this. We have no idea. This is my first live coaching session, and you are just being so real. I feel like it's just me and you. And what I would love to see you is for you to break out of the. I mean, you've got some really good habits, but I feel like the wreck, and I feel like some mental stuff has snuck in there and has kind of taken away the joy of who you are. I've always known you as a very outgoing, crazy, awesome, fun, amazing person, and you still are that person. There's no doubt about it. And so I think you coming up with a routine on your own would be really, really awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like you function very well with that.
Yes.
I mean, to where your alarm goes off at blank, you're getting up and doing blank, and then your day is structured.
Yeah.
And what I would like for you to do is to come up with on your own. I would like for you to come up with, and I want you to send it to me. What is a structure as far as your morning that you would like to see? Because here's the deal. And I know you've seen some of my stuff. When you can win the morning, not just making your bed, but when you can win the morning, you literally can win the day.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, for example, this morning, I got up, I read a little bit, I did my writing in my journal, and then I went on a run. And then here I am.
Yeah.
Now, this day I got a lot of stuff coming up. I've got a busy day. This call actually is already longer than I could even imagine. It's so awesome. But I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I can look back like, hey, I won the day and it got me going. I've showered. I'm ready to go. And so with you, it's the same thing. You're going to start winning the day. You're going to start winning the day by continuing to win the morning. And so what I want you to do is come up with a morning routine that works for you. Don't be like, I'm getting up at 3:50. I'm doing 40 push-ups and I'm making my bed. No, be real with it. I mean, we can do that later. But right now I want you to be what's best for Tanya. And I mean to wake up at 8 or whatever that is for you. Okay? Can you do that? Not right now, but later on.
Yeah.
And then I want you, and then we're about to wrap it up here. A year from now. Okay. 1 year from now. You and I get on a call. So I call you. What are you doing? Hey, Tanya, how you doing? It's Michael.
Sorry. I really think that I'll be doing my business, and that makes me really happy.
Hold on.
Sorry.
No, it's good. I think I got the wrong number. So I'm gonna call you, and you can cry. I love it. I think it's so good. The emotions are beautiful. But I'm calling you, and it's next year. It's not. I really think it is what you are doing. Okay, so let's try again. The emotions are beautiful. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? It's Michael.
Yeah, I can't talk right now. I have I have kids waiting for me.
Yes. Tell me how it's going.
They're yelling in the background. I have a kid running around with a knife, so I'll have to call you back later. Yeah. Just my business is going. I'm on my own. I have my own home. Um, my business is successful. My mental health is like at its like most supreme. Like I'm just like I have a morning and I have an like start to my morning and an end to my day. I have a routine. I have things blocked out for things that need to be done in my life and then things that need to be done for myself. Keeping myself priority over anything else.
Tanya, that is awesome. That is so incredible. And you're on your own. That is great. You've done it.
Yeah.
Was it what was the hardest thing for you to get to where you are right now in May 2025?
I would say just the negative comments and the negativity of, oh, you can't do it, oh, it's not going to happen, or other people's disappointment. I think what is like the biggest struggle. And so, but pushing through that and just listening to what's
Good
true.
job. Yeah, that's good. It's really good. All right, we're back into May 2024. That was awesome, by the way. And I believe that's going to be true. And I know you do as well. So of this call, what stood out to you the most? What's like a biggest takeaway for you today?
Oh, that it will be better. That it's gonna get better. And if I put the work into it, and weed out the things that need to be weeded out, and kind of just focusing on myself a lot more than what other people really think, and just have my opinions and my thoughts and my feelings be about me and not really not letting other people's feelings and opinions affect me the way that it has been.
It's really good. It's really good. And when those things do start to creep up, just a little tip to defeat that. People like pray about it, and that's good. Yes. But I think also is writing those things down that you're hearing in your head. Again, I'm big into writing. You know that,
Yeah.
like big, and I believe in it with all my heart. And so I would write some of those things down just to clear it out. Will really help you. Well, Tanya, man, I'm so thankful that you did this. I think that this call is going to help so many people. And I'm very thankful for your vulnerability. But before I do end it, is there any questions that you have or anything that's like that I can help you with? Anything else that comes up?
I mean, there's a lot, but that
Yeah.
is for a different time and
Yeah,
a
that's
different call. So
Fine.
there's so much that my life could be impacted.
Oh, well, I love it. I would love to help out. So I think also something to think about. Who is waiting for you to start this business? You don't have to answer it right now, but I really want you to think about that. Like, who is waiting for you to start selling yourself and selling this business? And I want you to think about that person. Okay, you probably don't know them. It's probably some kid who has a dream to be a chef, and you could be the catalyst that's going to come into their life and to help them to be able to do that. And I say that because for me, who is waiting for Michael to jump out there and be a life coach? Who is that one person that I can help? And if I don't do that, if I don't try to let people know what I'm doing, man, I'm hurting that person. And so just remember that whenever you get stuck, remember that one person that really is waiting for you to launch. That one person that's waiting for you to go on that walk so that you can be healthy, so that you can do this business. that one person. Okay. Then eventually this gets really weird. I want you to name that person. That's really weird, but we're not going to do that right now. Okay. Because that person is going to help you to get to where you're at. All right.
Awesome.
Okay, girl.
I
Well,
didn't think I was going to get emotional, but thank you.
hey, listen,
Very
emotion.
grateful for you.